My name is Maddie. I'm 25 years old and I just gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Although I'm grateful and extremely blessed to be in this position, there was a point in time throughout my pregnancy that was very difficult to endure. Let me tell you about the tumultuous relationship I had with my mother in law, Octavia. It seemed like every interaction between us was filled with tension and hostility. The situation only worsened when my husband, Kieran, had to work abroad for a few months, leaving me alone to deal with Octavia's constant presence. At this time, I was 6 months pregnant and I was particularly hormonal. I was emotional and cranky. In other words, this was the worst possible time for Kieran to not be home with me. But alas, he had to leave for a couple of months on a business excursion. It's only going to be 2 months. I'll be back in time for the birth, babe. Don't worry. But I'll miss you. I know, baby, but I promise you everything will be fine. But I'll be emotional and hungry and cranky, and you need to be here to help me. I know, my love. I'm so sorry. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, okay? I'm getting a flight back home the second I'm done with everything. Fine. And I'm also going to tell my mom to come and live in the house so that she can take care of you. What? Why? Well, because I want to make sure you're okay. Okay, but why didn't you ask Stacy, Julie, or any of my other friends to stay over instead? Because none of them have had kids yet. I asked my mom to come over because she's been down this road before many times. She'll be able to put you at ease. Fine, whatever. But I won't like it. That lady hates me. She doesn't hate you. You just don't see eye to eye on many things. And you think it's a good idea to leave me in her care? I know she's going to take good care of you, babe. Because she cares about you, even if you don't agree with each other. Even though you might not like each other, she certainly loves you. Fine, okay, whatever. Just hurry up and come home, okay? Yes, ma'am. Not long afterward, Kieran left for the airport, leaving me behind with my mother-in-law, Octavia. As I mentioned previously, our relationship wasn't the greatest, but I trusted my husband's judgment, which turned out to be a big mistake that almost cost me and my baby's life. A couple of hours after Kieran left for the airport, Octavia arrived at my home. When she saw me, instead of greeting me or saying anything else, she said, "My goodness, you look like a whale." Thanks. Just the perks of being pregnant, I guess. Oh, no, honey, absolutely not. This is not the way you should be looking. What do you mean? Being pregnant isn't an excuse to be fat. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. When she said that, I had a looming feeling that her presence would cause nothing but chaos, and unfortunately, I was right. Being 6 months pregnant, I was naturally gaining weight as my body adjusted to nurturing a growing life inside me. However, Octavia simply couldn't comprehend this simple fact. I tried explaining it to her as she got inside the house and settled down, but she simply wasn't having any of it. You kids and your lies. Nowadays it seems like you think you have an answer to everything, but I'm telling you this wouldn't be happening back in my day. You mean to tell me that nobody back in your day wouldn't gain any pregnancy weight? Nope, and we'd all be working right after giving birth, too. No breaks. That isn't something to flaunt, Octavia. It sounds quite sad. I wish that you rested and got time to be with your babies in a proper way. Nonsense. You don't need to do those things. Yes, you do. Studies show that spending time with your newborn leads to, oh, there you go again with your stupid stats and studies. Let me tell you something. These scientists don't know anything. They're lying to you. Right. Anyways, I'm feeling a bit tired, so I'm going to lie down. Darling, that's your problem right there. You need to be moving around if you want to lose that weight. It's not good for your body to just lay down all the time. You have to get up and get moving. My doctor told me that. Your doctor doesn't know anything. Pardon? I'm just saying that perhaps he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, she said that it's recommended for me to rest because I have a high-risk pregnancy.
What's high risk? What does that mean?
It means I'm susceptible to encountering problems in my pregnancy.
Aha! You see, the reason for this insurgence of women with complicated pregnancies is that you ladies don't move. You keep getting fatter and fatter, which causes complications. You need to.
At this point, I began to drown her out with my thoughts. This was what I would do when she was going on one of her particularly long rants. It seemed like the more you argued with her, the more she wanted to fight back. And I didn't have the energy to deal with that, especially when I was a swollen, aching, emotional mess. Octavia had a small frame herself and hadn't gained much weight during her own pregnancy with Kieran, as well as the other pregnancies she had. But every woman is different, and our bodies respond uniquely to the miraculous process that is creating new life. But unfortunately, it appeared as though Octavia didn't get the memo. I knew that the next 2 months of her living with me were going to be hell, so I geared myself for the combat because I didn't want to cause any problems. I just needed her to help me out whenever possible. We didn't have to have such discussions if I could help it. A couple of weeks had gone by and things were decent in the house. I did my best to engage with her as little as possible, dismissing her attempts to preach to me about the latest health fad or trend that was circulating her conspiracy theory circles. I just wanted to have a smooth 2 months to not stress the baby. But boy, oh boy, did she make it extremely difficult. As much as I would try and avoid her, she was adamant in ensuring that her rants and rambles were heard by me, and sometimes I had no choice but to listen. On the days when I was practically bedridden or when I was too emotional to get up and about, she would come to my room, sit down on the bed where I was laying, and drone on and on and on about literally anything. I think she just enjoyed the sound of her own voice. It was one of those days where Octavia, having nothing better to do, would come and disturb me when I was trying to sleep. I was already feeling sick and cranky, and honestly, I just wanted to lay in bed like a little gremlin. I think we all deserve to have those days from time to time, pregnant or not. Well, Grandmother Octavia certainly wouldn't agree with me. On this particular day, I couldn't bear to stand her hour-long rants. I just needed to be alone.
Octavia, please, I'm not feeling well today. I just need to rest. Resting all day won't do you any good, Maddie. You're being so unhealthy lying in bed like this. You need to get up and be active.
I did some yoga exercises this morning, Octavia. It's a gentle form of exercise that's recommended during pregnancy. I need to listen to my body and take it easy.
Yoga? That's not enough. I don't trust those things. You need to do more. Sweat it out and burn those calories. You're becoming a lazy, self-indulgent woman.
Leave me alone, Octavia. I'm pregnant and I'm tired. I don't need your constant criticism and negativity. When I said this, Octavia's face twisted into pure anger. She looked as if I had killed her entire family.
Oh, listen to the fat, lazy woman whining. You're just using your pregnancy as an excuse to eat and be lazy. If you keep this up, your baby will be fat, greedy, and lazy just like you.
I was so shocked. I couldn't believe that she said that to me. Imagine telling a woman in my state something so horrible as this. I began to sob, wondering why she was always so cruel and menacing. How can you say such horrible things to me? I'm doing my best, and all I want is some support and understanding.
Support? You don't deserve any support if you're going to let yourself become even more obese than you already are. You need my help, Maddie, whether you like it or not.
Stop it, Octavia. Your words are hurtful and untrue. I don't need your help if it comes with insults and negativity. Just leave me alone.
You think crying will solve everything? You're just feeling sorry for yourself. If you don't change, you'll end up as a fat, miserable woman, and your child will suffer because of your laziness and lack of discipline.
How can you say that? I'm trying my best. But your constant criticism is breaking me down. I don't want to hear any more of your hurtful words. Octavia's words escalated into a whirlwind of insults and cruelty. Instead of finding solace and understanding, I was bombarded with demeaning comments that attacked my self-esteem. What was worse, I couldn't even physically get up to leave the room if I wanted to. Octavia's relentless rambling about my weight and supposed laziness only fueled the fire of hatred and resentment that I had towards her. But on this particular day, I was left feeling even more defeated and vulnerable. I was worried for my baby. I didn't want to subject her to stress, especially with something so stupid as this. I began to severely miss Kieran. I longed for his support and acceptance during this transformative period of my life. But Octavia continued to belittle and degrade me, making me feel so terrible. After what felt like hours of Octavia berating me mercilessly, she left, and I was in shambles. I ended up crying myself to sleep that night. If you thought that that scenario was bad, just wait until I tell you about what happened going forward. In the morning, Octavia greeted me by bringing me some breakfast to my room. Still upset from last night, I barely mumbled a thank you and began to eat. As I was eating, however, I saw that the bowl of oatmeal she gave me was quite small. The portions looked like she was feeding a toddler. I assumed that she gave me this bowl just to whet my appetite, so I didn't complain then and there. But when a couple of hours had passed and she hadn't brought in any food, I concluded that she didn't want to bring me any more food. That was my only breakfast. Refusing to believe that she would be cruel enough to only feed me such a minute amount, I called her to my room.
Yes, dear?
Where's the rest of the food?
Oh, it isn't time for lunch yet.
I know that. I'm still talking about breakfast.
Oh, sweetie, you already had your breakfast.
That was not breakfast, Octavia, and you know it. What are you doing?
Well, I just took the liberty of reducing your portion sizes.
Why?
Oh, how many times do I have to say it? You're fat, Maddie, and you need to lose weight.
First of all, you are in my house, so I'll see to it that you lower your tone when you speak to me. Secondly, nobody told you to reduce my portion sizes. I'm starving. Please, can you get me some more food?
No, absolutely not.
Excuse me?
You might hate me for now, but trust me, you'll thank me in the future.
Octavia, listen to me very carefully.
No, you're the one who needs to listen to me. Kieran put me in charge here.
He did no such thing. Your job was to help me, but all you've done is cause me pain.
How could you say something so rude to me after everything I've done for you?
What exactly have you done for me, Octavia? What have you done for me other than making me miserable? Octavia went into one of her angry rants. She was shouting at me and calling me all sorts of hurtful things, but little did she know I just went underneath the covers, put in my AirPods, and drowned her out with some music. I wasn't going to let her evil nature tear me down, but she needed to know that she was wrong for how she was treating me. After 5 minutes or so, she yanked the blankets to reveal me not listening to her, and this sent her into an even deeper rage-fueled rant about how I'm spoiled and that I have no respect for her, which was very true. It was official. This woman had gone crazy. Octavia's controlling behavior reached a new level of absurdity. She told me that from that day forward, she was going to restrict my food intake, essentially starving me in the name of maintaining a certain physique. She claimed that it was for the sake of my health and the well-being of the baby, but her actions reeked of cruelty and disdain. I was appalled and hurt by her blatant disregard for my physical and emotional needs during this vulnerable time, and I simply couldn't take it any longer. When Octavia left the room, I called my husband. I had been refraining from calling him and complaining about his mother because I didn't want to stress him out. But I decided that for the sake of our baby, he needed to know about his mother's misdeeds. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Oh, my love, what's wrong? Are you watching those rom-coms again? I told you not to watch them if they make you cry this much. No, babe, unfortunately it's not that. What's wrong? It's your mother. I have to tell you what she's been doing. I went into great detail telling Kieran about how awful Octavia was to me, and with each sniffle and sob, I could feel him getting angrier and angrier. I just feel so unsupported, and I just miss you so much. I wish you were here because you're the only one who knows how to make me feel better. Baby, I'm so sorry I left you with her. Damn. I regret everything. I'm coming home. What? You heard me. I can't leave you alone with her, and I need to give her a piece of my mind. Babe, you've only been there for about a month. If you'd had told me everything that went down from the day I left, I would have told them to turn the plane around. Kieran, I'm so sorry. Sorry for what? There's nothing you need to apologize for. If anything, I'm sorry. I should have done what you said and gotten one of your friends to stay with you. I'm coming home, babe, okay? You just hang in tight until I get home. I love you, and please do everything you can to eat. Order in if you need to. Okay, love you too. And with that, my loving husband was on his way home to me. I was elated, but I was mostly relieved to know that I wouldn't have to live with that woman any longer. I tried my best to avoid talking to Octavia when she attempted to try her lengthy and boring conversations, but I would always pretend I was fast asleep. When she went to run errands, I got up and managed to prepare a meal for myself. I was so glad that things were looking up for me and my baby, and that we'd no longer be stressed out by the evil Octavia. The next day, Kieran arrived home, and I greeted him at the door. Where is she? She's in the kitchen.
Kieran, what are you doing at home so soon?
Why have you been treating my wife like this? What's wrong with you, Ma? She's pregnant.
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Maddie told me how you've been abusing her for the past month.
Well, I haven't been abusing her as she's trying to insinuate. I've just been giving her friendly advice.
You calling me greedy, lazy, and all those other horrid things you said friendly advice?
You're sick. How dare you speak to me that way? Kieran, you're going to let her speak to me that way?
Yep. She's carrying my child. She's entitled to whatever she wants, whenever she wants it, without so much as a sigh. I made a grave mistake in trusting her in your care. Get out.
What?
You heard me. Get out of my house. Since you want to be so toxic, even going as far as trying to starve my pregnant wife, you don't need to be here. You don't need to be anywhere near this family. When this baby is born, you're not going to be there.
Kieran, how could you say those things to me? I would never speak to you that way.
But you don't mind being evil and rude to my wife. I checked the security camera footage, Mom. You said some awful things, and for that, I can never forgive you. After Octavia was kicked out of the house, her reign of control and cruelty was finally put to an end. Kieran remained steadfast in his promise to shield me from Octavia's harmful presence. He recognized the importance of creating a safe and nurturing environment for our unborn children. With his unwavering support and protection, I felt a renewed sense of hope and strength. As the day of our baby's arrival approached, Octavia's desperation reached new heights. Ignoring our clear boundaries, she attempted to barge into the delivery room uninvited. But Kieran stood tall, fiercely defending our space and ensuring our peace of mind. He swiftly called security to remove her from the premises, allowing us to focus on the precious and transformative moments of welcoming our little girl into the world. Since their birth, Octavia has persistently tried to reach out to us, desperately tried to regain a foothold in our lives. However, we have chosen to maintain our distance, recognizing the harm she brings and prioritizing the well-being of our family. The joy and relief I felt as I held our healthy baby in my arms was immeasurable. I was overwhelmed with gratitude for Kieran, my pillar of strength and unwavering support. Together we created a loving and nurturing environment where our young family could flourish. As I looked into the innocent eyes of our baby girl, I vowed to protect her fiercely, just as Kieran had protected me. The toxicity that Octavia had imposed on our lives was now a distant memory, thank God, replaced by the joy and love that radiated within our home. With each passing day, we embraced the beauty of parenthood, cherishing the precious moments and celebrating the milestones of our little one's life. Our bond as a family grew stronger, and our home was filled with warmth, laughter, and endless possibilities. The journey had not been easy, but we had emerged stronger and more united. Octavia's presence served as a reminder of the strength we possessed, the love we shared, and the unbreakable bond that held us together. In the end, we chose to surround ourselves only with positivity, love, and those who truly uplifted us. Our focus remained on nurturing our child, creating a safe and nurturing environment, and embracing the joy and wonder that parenthood brought. I felt blessed to have Kieran by my side, supporting and protecting us through every twist and turn. Together, we embarked on this beautiful journey, ready to embrace all the adventures and joys that lay ahead.